What is going on, y'all? It's your man Mike Titan, the gaming savant, here with my co-host Bryan Greer, and today we are going to give y'all our NBA Finals preview. It's been a long season since October. Lots of teams have came and went, and now we're down to the last two, which pretty much at the beginning of the season most people had in the NBA Finals. Sure, at the beginning of the season both the teams weren't playing well, but probably from January till now they've been probably playing the best basketball statistically and on the court of any team. We're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors. Bryan Greer, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing better than Mr. James Harden, who went out crashing in flames, no pun intended, going with the good old 14 points, 13 turnovers. And I want to just let Mr. Lil B, the bass guy, let him know that I don't want no issues on my end, you know. We don't want no curses over here, because after what you've done to Kevin Durant and James Harden, I don't need nothing, because I definitely don't have the kind of bank accounts they have. So if you take me down, I think I'll be done.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know. I guess James Harden said, forget basketball, is trying to open up a bakery with all the turnovers he was having last game. That's not a good. He
might want to invest in Pillsbury the way he was playing last night.
Yeah, that's not a very good double-double to have, 14 points and 13 turnovers. But I must say that this Western Conference Finals and Eastern Conference Finals were pretty good, especially the Western Conference. Only reason I'm saying that is because that game, what was that, Game 5? Game 5 that they played in Golden State. Man, I don't know if that was a basketball game or a UFC match, because there was flying knees, elbows. Andre Iguodala looked like he had his collarbone broken. I
guess Trevor Reese was a Sagat fan from Street Fighter with the tiger knee, because I just never thought I would see an NBA game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. He was just, first he trips up Curry, now he's freaking kneeing Klay Thompson in the head. He must have a hit out on the Splash Brothers or something.
Yeah, he must be, because he is in the Bay Area, so he might have some connections out there. I don't know. But Mr. Ariza, I want to let you know, I don't want no problem with you either, so I want to make sure I get that out of the way also.
Yeah, we're a pacifist show.
Yes, exactly. Or all love over here. We're lovers, not fighters.
Exactly. All right, well, hopping into things, we have the Eastern Conference Finals with the Cavs sweeping the Atlanta Hawks 4-0, number 2, taking out the number 1 seed. And I will give the Cavaliers this. This is the series that confirmed my thoughts that this team is better than the teams that he had in Miami, simply for the fact that, 1, they're younger, and 2, I feel like he has a lot more better support players than he had in Miami, other than Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. You have Kyrie Irving, who, even though he's not 100% with his foot injury, is still playing lights out in the one game that he came back. You have J.R. Smith, who, like I said, I don't know if it's contract year. I don't know if he just likes Cleveland better than New York, but he's found him new. I feel like this is the J.R. Smith we should have got when I believe he was in Denver with Carmelo, when he was first starting to break out in the NBA. And then Tristan Thompson. This is what, first round pick is supposed to be doing. That man out there, I kid you not, if that man doesn't have a 99 offensive and defensive rebound rating in NBA 2K16, I don't know, the devs have something out against him. That man has been a rebounding machine. He played like a monster in game 3 and 4, just dominated Millsap and Horford down low. And then we have, Cleveland's new favorite illegitimate son, Dellavedova. Me personally, I don't think he's a dirty player. I do think that's a bad chance of circumstance that happens with him and Kyle Korver, and then the whole fiasco he had with Al Horford. I don't think any of that was a dirty play. Yeah, you just got to be there. I mean, put it like this. You can tell, like, for instance, that elbow Dwight Howard threw at Andre Iguodala, that was intentional. That, I feel like that was a dirty play. What Dellavedova did to Korver and Horford, I don't feel like those were dirty plays. I just feel like that was him going extra hard to get the basketball and get a possession for his team. But like I said, the Cleveland Cavaliers pretty much just straight destroyed the Atlanta Hawks. I believe they beat them by 30. I believe, 118-88, something along that line in game 4. And LeBron James, the game he had in game 3, had a triple-double, 37 points, 18 rebounds, 11 assists, started the game off 0 for 10. Now, I'll give James his props. I don't know many people who could start the game off 0 for 10 and finish with that stat line. But yeah, the Cavaliers pretty much just just dogged the Hawks they just dogged the Hawks this series. They pretty much showed them who the true number 1 seed is, and I feel like if the Cavs didn't have that lackluster first quarter of a season, they probably would have been number 1 seed by a mile. What did you think of the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, this series just came down to the Hawks not being fully healthy and the Cavaliers just hitting on all cylinders, even though that Kyrie Irving was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, I want to talk about that game 3. You know, I didn't get to see all of that, but for him to go 0 for 10 and play as bad as he did in the first quarter and finish with 37 points, 18 rebounds, and 11 assists, that game hasn't been talked about enough. And that just shows his greatness. I mean, I'm not a huge LeBron fan, but that is scary to let you know how good of a player he is. Just to be playing like garbage, then just go out and just dominate the rest of the 3 quarters on a level that very few players can do. And unfortunately for the Hawks, DeMar Carroll in the first game, had a leg injury and thought it was going to be out for the season. But luckily he did come back, and Kyle Korver being out for the series, they were just, too shorthanded. And also a lot of people didn't know Al Horford had a hand injury that he was dealing with. So the Cavs just had way too much firepower. And also Timothy Mozgov, which you should get a lot more credit for. A lot of people just, laughed at him when he got traded to the Cavs. But that guy was, I told people in Cleveland, was just, on the wrong team. And you got him to a good team, you would see how good he is. And he has been dominant. Not just good, but been dominant. Because I don't think nobody would expect him to, dominate Al Horford and Paul Millsap down low like he has.
Yeah, most definitely. Like we said before in our last show, I believe, when we talked about the Cleveland and Boston series, I said, I thought that the Mozgov trade was a little bit weird because I gave up 2 firsts for him. I still kind of don't want to justify giving up 2 first-round picks for somebody who was a backup center on the team. You don't trade bigs. Huh?
You just don't trade bigs.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't trade bigs in the NBA anymore. Clear reason why the Nuggets are having the free fall season that they have the past season. But I do give you that. I do think that Timothy Mozgov was the key piece that they needed. Another big man to put next to Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love before he got hurt. But he's the center that Cleveland's been needing for the longest. He's young. He can rebound. He has kind of a mid-range shot. Not the most reliable thing, but if you leave him open from about 15 to 16, he'll make probably 2 out of 4, go 50% for you. But like I said, that and the J.R. Smith and the Mon Shumpert trade were the 2 trades that put the Cavs over the top this season. It gave them depth. It gave them people who could be starters on other teams coming off the bench, giving their starters a rest, and I feel like that's what's propelled them to the NBA Finals this year.
I totally agree with you. People don't understand that when J.R. Smith gets hot, we laugh at all his antics and everything. But when he gets hot, we all know what he can do. And as you see, he is hot right now. And you put him and LeBron out there on the court together, that's a dangerous combo that makes it where Kyrie Irving doesn't have to take as much of the offensive load.
Yeah, exactly. You have LeBron out there facilitating, and then you put shooters around him like Smith, Irvin, James Jones, Tristan Thompson can hit the jumper too.
James Jones, he has been incredible in the playoffs. I mean, people are not giving him enough credit either. These guys have come through. I know LeBron's been dominant, but a lot of these guys have really stepped up and been very big contributors, not just, making a few points. So, I mean, in the Eastern Conference Finals, almost even miss Kyrie Irving.
Exactly. And you know what? I think that's probably the one thing that I don't think people give praise to LeBron about. The thing about it, LeBron, is that we all know he's more of a magic player. He wants to get people open. He wants to facilitate. Yes. But just the sheer size of him being 6'8", 250, 260 pounds, where he can literally, depending on who's guarding him, either outspeed or outpower the person in front of her. Defenses have to take account for that. Like, I don't remember, I think it was game 3, may have been game 4, where there was a time where he was just dribbling on the 3-point line on the left wing, and then he dribbled in, and literally everybody was just looking at him, and then Tristan Thompson cut from the 3-point line to the free throw line, and he just passed it to him for an easy, wide open layup. Like, even when people aren't playing defense on him, you have to account where he is on the floor, and that's just due to his sheer build. Now, with the passing he has, you put good enough shooters or good enough people who can drive the ball or create their own shot around him, you're just going to have nothing but success with that team.
Yeah, exactly. They've really done a good job of creating a team and not just having LeBron being the main. He is the main guy, but they have guys who can go off, and they've just done a good job. Like the GM for the Cavs deserves a lot more credit that he's gotten.
Yeah, exactly. I believe this second time around blows out any team that LeBron had pre-2010. But going on to the Western Conference Finals, where you have the Golden State Warriors facing off against the Houston Rockets, who just came off of their down 3-1 comeback victory over the Clippers, beating them in 3 straight games to get to the Western Conference Finals. And you have the Golden State Warriors, who beat out the Memphis Grizzlies 4-2 to make it to the Western Conference Finals. You know, I had to think about it. I don't know why I said Minnesota. I think I was watching the Twins games earlier.
A lot of Grizzlies in Minnesota, maybe.
Yeah, there might be. I think they got like mountains and stuff, with snow and polar bears and all that other stuff. But
I don't know about mountains, but I guess so.
If you say so, man. But getting back on the topic, the Warriors, for the first 3 games of this series, were just a buzzsaw. Granted, they did have game 2 where they won on that last-second defensive trap by the Splash Brothers on James Harden. Games 1 and especially game 3, where they just took the life out of the Rockets in game 3. Stephen Curry was just amazing that game. I believe he had 42 points. That man was just like, every time he shoots the ball, whether he's wide open or you have people on him, you just got to say, that's not fair, man. That's like, it's like a video game out there. Like, literally almost anything. Cheap. Exactly, just cheat is what you want to call it. Literally everything he throws up seems to be going in. Klay Thompson is playing well. Andrew Bogut's playing very good for games 3, 4, and 5. He didn't play good the first 2 games, but the latter games he played very well. And game 5, Harrison Barnes, that stretch he had in the fourth quarter, that 7 minutes, that man, I see why. I see now. Right? Yeah, I see why now he's starting. That man just was dunking, hitting threes, playing defense. Then Andre Iguodala coming in, being the equalizer. Exactly. But I do have to give credit to Houston for Game 4, where they came out and they scored 45 points in the first quarter, tied an NBA playoff record. I did not expect that at all. I will give Houston their props. Whenever they're down or their backs against the wall, they come out and they will give you their best punch. Game 4 proved that, where they put 45 on them. They ended up winning, I believe, 128 to 110 or 118, something along that line. And they kept their series alive for one more game. But the second half of Game 5, it was pretty much just all Warriors, especially the latter half of the fourth quarter, where Harrison started going off, Curry started hitting a couple of baskets, and their team just put away Houston.
Yeah, it was pretty much all, lights out in the second half for Houston. Like you said, Klay Thompson had 22 points in 20 minutes. Curry finally got it going, which we know he is. He's not going to have a whole cold game. I don't know if he's ever had that in his life. And also Harrison Barnes, as you said, because he's only 22 years old. And to see the game he had and the composure, that's so scary. And the team's depth is incredible. It's scary how good the Warriors are when they're on all cylinders. And also Draymond Green, and I think 13 or 14 rebounds in Game 5, and he is a defensive, stopper of the highest order. So the Warriors, when they're hitting on all cylinders, they are incredible, and they were just getting run out from Leandro Barbosa, and all the players were just attacking the basket and hitting threes for kickouts.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Like I said, whenever the Warriors get it going, they're a fine, well-oiled machine. Especially when they push the break, put pressure on the defense. You have a number of shooters: Curry, Thompson, Barbosa, Barnes, Iguodala, even Draymond Green to a certain extent when he's not airballing threes. That team is just built. Yeah,
I wish you would stay in the paint. He can make a three-pointer, but in the paint, he is so good in the paint.
Exactly. Especially because most of the time he'll have smaller people matched up on him. But like I said, overall, the Golden State Warriors pretty much did what everybody thought they set out to do. They put away the Rockets early. They got them down in the 3-0 deficit. Now, if the series would have been maybe 2-1, 2-2, I might have given the Rockets a chance to come back. But like I said, nobody's ever come back being down 3-0. I believe only 3 teams have took it to a Game 7 and they ended up losing. So very well done by the Warriors putting out the Rockets. I just feel like that this was a very good statement series for the Warriors when they technically beat the second best team in the Western Conference Finals, a team that I kind of thought would match up well with them. I easily had this series going 6, maybe even 7, just because of how hot the Rockets were coming off the Clippers victory and how well that James Harden, Dwight Howard, Josh Smith, Terrence Jones, and Corey Brewer were playing. But apparently, I don't know what it is with the Rockets. Maybe it's just the coaching, the chemistry, or what have you. But they just falter down the flat. Yeah, they just come out flat. It's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they just don't know what they want to run on offense, if they just don't, just rely on James Harden step back 3 all the time, with Dwight Howard getting the ball in the post. But it just seems. What do you say?
Yeah, they get that way so easily, where they just allow James Harden to facilitate just like a step back 3 or just drive to the lane, hope the referees call a foul. Mm-hmm. And they can't do that. I think they don't use Dwight Howard enough in the post at times, because in the first quarter of Game 5, he was actually looking pretty good, getting a lot of rebounds, and then they just went away. I mean, I was looking to get an Amber Alert for Dwight Howard for the first quarter.
Yeah, exactly. For a little bit of Game 5, like I said at the beginning, they were doing what he made himself famous for in Orlando, where he would literally just go as deep in the post as he can, just pass the ball to him.
Yes.
And either the person who's guarding him is going to have to foul him, or he'll kick out for a 3 for a double team. That's how Orlando got to the Eastern Conference Final that one year they played against the Cleveland Cavaliers, actually, LeBron James' old team. But like I said, very well done by the Warriors. Now, going on to the finals, we have the Warriors versus the Cavs. This is a very interesting matchup to me, because I feel like these two teams in different ways kind of mirror each other. On the Cavaliers side, you got Irvin and J.R. Smith and Amon Shumpert as their backcourt. On the Warriors side, you have the Splash Brothers, Iguodala, Barbosa, and Sean Livingston and Dellavedova for the Cavs too. I'll definitely give the backcourt advantage to the Golden State Warriors. I feel like their starting backcourt and their bench backcourt is a little bit better than the Cavs. Of course, you got the Splash Brothers who can put up threes at any time. Sean Livingston, a very small talked about person in this series, 6'7" point guard. That's just enough to be said. He did have that horrible leg injury a couple of years back, but he seems to be coming back to form now. He's going to be a matchup problem for anybody that's on him at the point guard position, just because he's taller than them, a little bit bigger. He can back them down in the post. He can get pretty much any good position that he wants against any other point guard. On the Cavs side, though, I will give LeBron James the advantage over whoever's going to guard them. Now, here's the interesting thing. I want to see who's going to guard LeBron James. It's got to either be at a Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. Reasons being saying that I feel like Green will be aggressive with LeBron. He may not stop LeBron, but I feel like that's the best match because they're kind of evenly built. Draymond Green's a little smaller, but he's almost as tall. LeBron's just a little bit bigger. But I would love to see that matchup, Draymond Green guarding LeBron James. And then as for down low, as of now, I have to give it to the Cavaliers, just the way Tristan Thompson and Mozgov have been dominating the boards down low, just getting rebounds after rebounds. But like I said, you're going to have Draymond Green. So if he's playing LeBron, do you put Harrison Barnes on Tristan Thompson? Do you bring in David Lee and start him over Harrison Barnes and move Draymond Green to the small forward? It's just these little small lineup changes and matchups that I'm very interested to see. What do you think of the matchups in this series?
I agree with you. I want to talk about, like you said, down low. I really want to see, are the Warriors going to allow Andre Iguodala to guard LeBron, kind of like in 2011 when the Mavericks allowed Sean Marion to guard LeBron majority of the time because of his length. Yeah. Because he does have the length and the quickness to stop LeBron from going in the lane. But the problem I have with Draymond Green is his aggressiveness and his emotion. Mm-hmm. Against LeBron, he has to keep his composure because LeBron is one of the best at getting guys to lose their composure. Mm-hmm. And Draymond Green is so aggressive, I wonder about him guarding LeBron. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Klay Thompson has the strength to guard LeBron as far as go in the lane. So they do have multiple guys, but they're going to have to, I believe, let Andre Iguodala take on LeBron. I think that's one thing that they're saving up Andre Iguodala for is for LeBron James because of his length. And I think that he has the lateral quickness to, keep up with LeBron. And if Kyrie Irving's not healthy, God help him if they put Dellavedova on Steph Curry, because that will be that will be a rated R movie if they allow Dellavedova to guard Steph Curry, because with his dribbling skills and his step back threes, it will be over quick in this series. So I do want to see that. And another thing is Klay Thompson's defense was incredible on James Harden.
Yes.
He didn't get enough credit. It was very good. And I want to see what he does against J.R. Smith. Does J.R. Smith try to force shots or anything? Because we know he can go super cold just as much as he goes super hot. So if J.R. Smith goes to yellow threes and starts trying to just throw them up and they can start being bricks, because the finals, and he wants to be the MVP of the finals, it could go really south for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, yeah, I give the backcourt a distinct advantage for the Warriors. And down low with Mozgov, like you said, and Tristan Thompson, they do have a clear advantage over Bogut. But I think they're going to have to play David Lee some this series.
Yeah, they are.
Because of his rebounding skills to try to, take out Tristan Thompson. Because they can't allow Tristan Thompson to get all of those offensive rebounds he was getting against the Hawks.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be very crucial for the Warriors of them making sure to get rebounds, not give the Cavaliers second chances on offensive rebounds or vice versa. Have their bigs get offensive rebounds down low to not just keep them to one-shot offenses, because we know the Cavs can push the ball too, just as well as the Warriors can. When you got LeBron James running that basketball down the court on a fast break, I mean, it's either get out the way or hopefully that he doesn't find somebody that's wide open. But like I said, I feel like this is going to be a good series. I feel like this is the best possible outcome for the finals that we could have got out of all the teams in the finals. If I have to give my prediction of who would win, it's honestly like I could flip a coin who I think would win, just because of the caliber of these teams. I'm going to give it to the Warriors, and I'm going to say it's going to go 7 games. Main reason being, I feel like that James would not let this team get swept. First of all, I don't think either team's going to get swept. I feel like that Curry is just going to be that X factor, because if you don't have Shumpert on him, I don't know who you're going to have to guard him. And then if you have somebody like a LeBron or Shumpert on here, well, you're going to free up Thompson. You're going to free up Barnes, and you're going to free up Iguodala, all the other wings, to give them shots because they have to pay attention to Curry. So I'll give it to the Golden State Warriors in 7. Who do you have winning the finals?
Well, good pick, sir, because, I'm going to go with the Warriors, too. I'm going to go with the Warriors in 5 games. The reason being the backcourt. They can play both ways. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, I believe that with Kyrie Irving not being fully healthy, they're going to be able to stop him a little bit. And Dellavedova is not going to be going against, Schroeder, who's just a really small guard as a backup. He's going to be going against, like you said, Sean Livingston, and they have Harrison Barnes. Their size is really going to affect the Cavaliers. And I know that the Cavs have a lot of hot players right now and everything, but it's a huge difference playing against a handicapped, short-handed Atlanta Hawks team versus playing against the Warriors, who are fully healthy and have a bench to go along with it. So I just don't see how the Cavs overall can stop the Warriors scoring, because once they get going, once they just get out and running and gunning, and the Oracle Arena gets going, I think it's just too much, and they can win on the road just as easily as they can win at home.
Okay. Very well put, man. Very well put. That's going to wrap it up for our show today, guys. We want to thank y'all for watching. Do you have any closing comments before we get out of here, Bryan?
Yeah, I just want to give a little knowledge dart to the people out there. If you are a single man or whatever, and you saw LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, J.R. Smith in the hot tub together, please do not recreate that thing, and that the ladies are going to get with you like that. They have millions of dollars that you don't have. So it might look a little creepy with you and your homeboys doing the same thing. So I just want to give a little, public service announcement to all the fellas out there. You don't want to do that, because it might not turn out the same way for you that it does for them.
Very well put.
And flicking their wrists while doing it.
Exactly. Oh, man, that was hilarious when I seen that, but neither here nor there. Yeah. Very well put, sir. Yeah. But yeah, that's going to do it for us today. We want to thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out our Easter Conference preview, Western Conference previews. If you want to watch any of our previous videos, make sure to like and subscribe to the channels. And also, another knowledge dart, if you want to say, before we get out of here, this will be I believe, the first time since the NBA became a league that you have two rookie head coaches that a rookie head coach is going to win the NBA title. And also, I want to say that if the Warriors do win the title, I hope that they send Mark Jackson the ring, because goes without saying, we know who the coach of the Warriors should have been this season. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk to you guys next time. Catch you later. Peace.